I'm Robin Randels, the classes coordinator at Cascade Bicycle Club, and I'm going to show you today how to fix a flat. Here are the things you need to fix a flat tire. You need a spare tube, a patch kit if you're going to repair your tube, tire levers, and a pump. And I carry my spare tube in this sock that doubles as a cleanup rag. So let's get started. First thing I need to do is get my wheel off, and it's easiest if I put the chain on the outer cogs. So I have it on the big one here, and I want it on the tiniest one here, so I need to shift into the tiny cog, and then I need to unscrew the skewer. There's a knob here, and there's also on this side is a quick release, if you can see the quick release. And you work with these together. You open the quick release lever like this, and you unscrew both knobs together. I also need to detach my brakes. My brake is a cantilever brake. It's up here. I squeeze this. Let's see. Squeeze this, and it opens it up. Now my wheel should just drop right out. And pay attention to where your chain is. It's laying across the top of this little cog. That's going to be important for when we put the bike back together. The tire's already flat, so I'm going to open this and make sure it's all the way flat. See that? And there's a little screw, keeper screw, that's on this valve that I need to get off. Not all of them have this, but mine does. So I'm going to use my tire levers, and I'm going to start away from the valve. That gives me the most space. I'm going to insert the little cupped end under one bead here, theoretically under a bead. I'm going to put the other one a few spokes away, and I'm going to use both of them together to pop that bead off of the wheel. Then I've hooked this on here because this one's going to stay and this one's going to move. I'm going to use this to remove the bead that's closest to me away from the rim, and there it is. Now I have access to the inner tube that's under here. I can just pull it out. When I get to the end, I'm going to turn it upside down and get the inner tube free. I'm going to do now an inspection of the wheel to make sure that I find the little thing that caused my flat tire. I'm going to very carefully go along the inside of this and try and find something. Once I've found that, I can reinstall a new inner tube. Here's my new inner tube, and I want to just put a little bit of air in it to give it some shape. So to reinstall, I need to start again at the valve. And the hole for the valve is right here. And I pop it in, pull it down, and then I'm going to put this, I'm going to gently fish it up in there. If you pull the bead towards you, you'll have a nice bit of space to get it up. Don't fight yourself by trying to squeeze it in there. So pull the bead forward. You have lots of space. Work with both hands. Now, the next thing is to put the bead back on the wheel. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to put the bead in there, and I'm going to press it on. You can feel it press on and catch. And then I'm just going to work it with my hands, pressing it into that wheel rim. So when you get to this point, it's going to be very tight. A lot of tires you're able to use your thumbs and your hand, but if you can't, you can gently use your tire lever in the opposite way by feeling gently, hooking it right on the the bead or the rim of the tire and popping that back into place on the rim. You have to be careful not to damage your inner tube this way. Check to make sure that all along here that there's no inner tube sticking out underneath the bead. Just go around real quickly on both sides of the wheel and check to make sure that that bead is indeed up in the tire. Okay? Once you've done that, you're ready to inflate. Make sure this is unscrewed. Tighten the screw, and if you have one of these little keeper valves or keeper knobs, go ahead and reinstall that. So we're ready to put the wheel back on the bike. Remember what I said about where you're going to align the chain on that littlest cog. Lay that chain right on the top cog, push your derailleur down, and your bike will immediately line up right in the dropouts. So once it's seated in there, you're going to redo those knobs. Again, when you're handling the quick release, use both hands, one on the knob, one on the crank, and you want this to actually make a little divot in your hand. This is too easy. That's not going to stay on. So twist it until it's going to make a divot. You can use the other screw to make it tighter if you've got it in position. I want it to line up towards the back. Still too easy. Got to make it tighter. Still too easy. Okay, almost there. There, that made a nice little divot in my hand, and I know that it's not going to come off. So the last part, and it's super important, is don't forget to reattach your brake. I squeeze this, put the little knob in there, and I'm good to go. Make sure to check that. Working fine. So, I'm ready to go. I'm gonna hit the road and go get coffee.